Hello everyone, and welcome back to Kinkoi. So I know this is a little unorthodox, especially since we've already gone past the main game, finished Ria's route, seen Sylvie's true end, all that fun stuff. But I wanted to make sure that we actually had recordings of Elle-san's routes and Akane's routes. So I'm going to go back and play through them, especially since I actually haven't seen them. Sarah and Prince has, but I have not. So I really want to go through them, but that also means that it's just going to be me. Hopefully that will still be entertaining. Without further ado, let's get into it. 1 month after enrolling at Noble Academy.
1、2、3、4ほら、手上がってないよ。
That sounds so enthusiastic. Okay. Well, at least we're not inside when she's shouting that. Right. I'd gotten into the routine of doing radio calisthenics with the other dorm residents every morning. Ouchie!
最初からそうなさいな。
I mean, that was what I was doing, but I guess it wasn't different enough. The air was so tense during breakfast, you could almost cut it with a knife. Ah, thanks a bunch.
ちゃんとごちそうさまでした。日本では手を合わせるのでしたわね。やりなさいな。調理された方と食材への礼儀ですわよ。
Okay. Thank you very much for the meal.
よろしくてよ。
I even did the hand motions and everything. I'm assuming that's a burp.
お下品！
Ow. Ouchie. I did think this was my own fault. I still wasn't able to keep up in class. Well, I'm not surprised by that.
はい、次元素記号 I。この名前は市松くん。
Iodine? No clue.
しゃあないヒント。現在日本では特に千葉県で産出生成されている消毒防腐剤で有名な元素です。
Oh, it is iodine. No clue.
素直でよろしい。では録音寺くん。要素です。正解。簡潔でよろしい。では次の問題市松くん。
Iodine? No clue.
まだ問題言っていません。せめて問題を聞きなさい。
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
素直でよろしい。
But I was adapting more all the time. I had gone through a number of life changes over the last month, but adapting to one's surroundings was part of human nature, or so I'd heard. Everything was going surprisingly well for me, though.
そう言ってくれると私も嬉しいわ。
Well, I'm glad that you're happy, Sylvie.
はい。
Both Sylvie and Elle-san looked relieved when they heard I was more or less acclimated to my new life at Noble Academy. They apparently felt somewhat responsible for dragging me here without any recourse. Well, it is true. I was enjoying myself, so it was certainly a win-win situation for everyone involved. I could only hope this trend continued through graduation.
しかし、乗り切るだけならともかく、
I was about to say bold of us to assume we would graduate at the rate we're going.
学習方面ではもう少し慣れた方が良いのでは？
Probably. Oh, she hit me right where it hurt. Right in the whip wounds. I was fine with radio calisthenics and could even handle the daily beatings during Mina-chan's etiquette lessons. I think I'd done a good job adapting to my school life, which had a rather rocky start. But no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't keep up with my studies. I wasn't too bright, and could never hold a candle to the students at Noble Academy, which was one of the most prestigious schools in Japan. I think it's fine. I avoided failing anything at least.
それは、まあ。
We'd had a test a short while back, and I'd managed to pull through. Every test at Noble Academy was multiple choice, and had 5 choices per question. Since 20 points were effectively guaranteed, I could avoid failing as long as I got 30 or more points. Noble Academy didn't want to produce students with failing grades, or put them into supplementary lessons in the first place. The school's selling points were all their exceptional students, so I'd probably be okay as long as I didn't fail every class. I had no problem playing into the Academy's expectations in order to breeze my way through until graduation.
しかしそれでは市松殿の身になりません。
Did I say that out loud? Oh. This particularly naggy individual clearly didn't understand how I felt, though.
困りましたね。国から学者を何人か呼んで、市松殿に専属で家庭教師でも。
No. No, please don't do that.
市松殿はソルティレージュの総意を持ってこの学園にお迎えしたのです。学力維持を含めあらゆる面でのサポートは欠かせません。
Yes, and I have elected to use none of them. You don't need to worry about me. I didn't study much at my old school either.
そりはそりで問題っすな。
That's very true, and we were probably failing at our old school. Elle-san furrowed her brow and appeared to be deep in thought. She certainly was acting stuffy today. Studying was just a normal part of any student's daily life, and she seemed to worry that I was cutting corners. Yeah, because you are. Her logic was sound in that it was important for a student to focus on their studies. But that'd be incredibly suffocating if that was all you did. Life was all about balance, and I believed it was important to relax when the time called for it. This wasn't just an excuse not to study, okay? It sure sounds like it.
なんだか責任を感じちゃうわね。
It's all your fault that I don't study, Sylvie.
オーロがおバカちゃんなのはシルビーのせいじゃないよ。
Okay, well, that's true. Hey, dummy or not, that still hurts.
私、オーロにはこのノーブル学園を 100% 楽しんでほしいの。だって、オーロが来てくれて、私は 100% 楽しいから。
Oh, shucks. Sylvie. Sylvie's worries were certainly valid, albeit serious. Personally speaking, I wish they'd have let this slide.
私が教えましょうか。
What? Come again?
家庭教師では堅苦しいやもしれませんが、私ならどうでしょう。
Sure.
私も学力優秀というほどではありませんが、比較的上位をキープできる程度の学力はあります。
What should be second in the class, maybe third.
方法は予習復習の反復繰り返し。一緒にやれば効果がないとは思えませんが。
My grades were piss poor because I didn't review the material or prepare for lessons. But
いかがです？
Elle-san stared at me dead on while Sylvie looked apologetic off to the side. That seems ominous.
逃げ場ないね。
That is also ominous. Sounded like it. I went along with it and made plans to meet up with Elle-san later to study. But
ですからここの計算はですね、最初に渡した公式があったでしょ？
but you
あれを当てはめればですね。
but you see, I didn't figure out how to use it in the first problem. Huh? What? Formula? What do you mean first?
最初の問題です。ほらこれ。
Oh. I don't get it. We may have only been doing basic preparation and review, but our basic arithmetic skills were on different levels and we couldn't see eye to eye. This is hopeless. I tossed away my pen, but
市松オーロ。
I'll get it back. Yes. She drew in super close.
大変なのはわかりますが、これはあなたにとってとても意義のあることです。 もう少しだけ頑張りましょう。ほら、次の1ページです。
Okay. Damn it. Her intensity did me in. I made it through this preparatory review session to the best of my ability. Heroina de Caballero Ista. Or as I called her, Elle-san. The thing that had changed most in the month since I enrolled here may have been my relationship with her. I was absolutely terrified of her at first, but...
だから違う。さっきの公式を思い出しなさい。
I am still kind of terrified of her. Sorry. Never mind, I was still scared of her. But at least I'm not worried about losing an arm anymore, maybe.
よろしい。では次の問題です。
That tune changed really quickly. Right. I'd gotten to see many sides to her, not just the scary ones. How should I put this? Elle-san was kind, and her presence always packed quite a punch. That was likely due to her position as Sylvie's guard, to say nothing of the constant and intimidating bloodlust that emanated from her. Her stern expression and serious nature often made me fearful that she'd one day come for my arm if it came down to it. However, my friendship with Sylvie had earned me some brownie points since my arrival, and her kind side would occasionally shine through. But I'm still scared. Thanks for today.
いえ、こちらこそお邪魔しました。教えたところは改めて復習してくださいね。何事も反復練習が結果を生むのです。
But it's not always the most effective way to learn. Will do. Better just take her naggy nature as part of her kindness. Then...
あら、エロイナ。何をしてますの？
your job in the future.
神なる様。
My other mentor suddenly came back. Speaking of studying...
それで、お姉様の護衛、ちゃんとできてます？騎士員の方々が伝達がいくらか混乱しておりましたわよ。
Wow, what happened?
引き継ぎはしてあるはずですが。
Did Sylvie sneak out for more melon bread?
あなたはできているつもりでも、今日本に来ているのは若い騎士ばかりで、手順がわからないものも多い。ほら、外でおどおどしてますわよ。
Mina-chan pointed to several black-suited men and women who were looking our way apologetically. Oh geez, what did they do? Elle-san rushed out to talk to the knights. And some sort of conversation ensued between them. And... Okay. I could hear Elle-san barking at them from here. She continued to speak and wore a rather stern expression on her face. Was it a bad idea for Elle-san to be my tutor?
ご安心なさいな。あなたやエロイナでなく、他の者たちの失態ですわ。
Wait, so it was the guards' fault that Elle-san needed to be my tutor? Okay, now I'm confused.
本来お姉様の護衛を務めるはずのエロイナが、今日は急に用事ができたから、屋敷での護衛の仕事をいくつか他に任せた。ところが、任された騎士が初めての王女の直近十字と会って混乱して、警戒状態と報告してしまいましたの。
Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
おかげで騎士員全体が臨戦態勢。私もバレエの練習を切り上げて部屋に待機するよう無理やり連れ出されましたわ。
What the heck?
もう、困りますわよ。
Yeah, it sounds like it.
申し訳ございません。
厳重に注意します。
Whoa. The black suits lined up behind her out of nowhere. Mina-chan's brigade of bodyguards was unusually large, and they assumed some danger was afoot.
今夜のエロイナは報告書の嵐でしょうね。ちょっと同情しますわ。
Yeah, that's kind of been my summary of feelings about her for a good portion of this game. It's like, That sucks for Elle-san. So that's how it goes. Regardless, I was partially to blame, and I felt a little guilty for it.
各員撤収。平常業務に戻る。
はい。
At Elle-san's command? At Elle-san's command, I don't know why all of a sudden I've become British. At Elle-san's command, all of the black-suited guards behind Mina-chan dispersed in droves. Elle-san made her way over to us.
すいません。騒がせました。神成様、もう問題ありません。
ご苦労様。
市松殿、本日はこれで。
Okay, thanks, bye. Sure. Elle-san headed back to the estate with her battalion in tow. Not entirely sure here, but did all that mean Elle-san's a highly ranked guard? I had never paid any mind to Elle-san's position before. I knew she was Sylvie's guard. For that matter, she had the special position of being her personal attendant. This was likely because they were close in age, and she was able to come to the school with her. However, based on her usual behavior,
上も何も、日本にいる騎士員の者の中では最高責任者になりますわ。
dang. So she's at the very top? I assumed as much, but it was still surprising. She outranked some of the adults and even had to take responsibility for their mistakes. It was high enough a position that it wouldn't make sense if she were just an attendant.
まあ責任者であることを差し引いても、ヘロイナは騎士員筆頭イスタ家の息女。ほとんどの騎士員の者にとって仕えるべき相手ですが。
Her reply certainly piqued my interest. That curiosity prompted me to ask, does that mean Elle-san's loaded? I'd been curious about this for a while now. I didn't pay any attention since she was at Sylvie's side, but Elle-san was refined enough to not be outdone by a princess. If she was a daughter of the knights, of the family in the uppermost echelons of those black suits that served as Sylvie's guards, then...
お嬢様というのがどんな尺度かは存じませんが。
That's a valid point considering where we come from.
イスタ家は、ソルティレージュにおいては、王室シスア家と双璧をなす、歴々最小を務める家柄ですわ。
Alright, double black cards. A well-to-do girl from the number 2 family.
シスア家とイスタ家は名目上は同格です。ナンバー2という表現はそぐいませんわね。
Sorry? Elle-san was on par with royalty. How amazing was that? I'd sensed as much from Elle-san before, but she and Sylvie were on the same level.
まあしかし、騎士員は王室に仕えるのが最大事。そこの長を務めるイスタ家が王室たるシスア家と肩を並べるなどと、騎士員の総意が否定するでしょうけれど。
But they're on par with royalty from birth?
ええ。
Wow. Then how did Elle-san get assigned to be Sylvie's bodyguard?
なんでと言われましても、エロイナがそば使いになることを望んだからとしか。
That doesn't surprise me.
騎士の誉れは国への、王室への忠誠です。シルビーお姉様が専属で従事させていることそのものが、イスタ家にとっては非常に価値あることですし。
The conversation veered into the territory of knightly honor, huh? Probably not something that I'd ever comprehend. Then...
まあ、エロイナがお姉様をお守りする理由は、もっと個人的な。
Huh?
なんでもありません。
How was it personal?
なんでもございません。
She abruptly turned away, effectively ending the conversation. Maybe it was a touchy subject for her? I only knew a little about Elle-san, so... Oh. And it wasn't looking like I'd get to ask the question I wanted to know most. What I had gathered was that there was some personal reason behind Elle-san's loyalty to Sylvie. This applied just as much to when she acted as my tutor earlier. Sylvie was at the heart of every personal opinion Elle-san held. Even her choice to act as my tutor wasn't out of concern for me personally. She was trying to eliminate any possible concern Sylvie would have for me, the person she invited here, due to my worrisome grades. What staggering loyalty. That's also surprisingly perceptive for Ouro, who historically has been pretty dang dense. Actually, loyalty might not be the right word anymore.
たるんでいるぞお前たち
Well, yeah, that's kind of how we got into this whole mess to begin with. Oh, you mean the guards. My bad.
シルビア様、神なる様の警護は我々がここにいる価値そのものと知れ。次失態があれば本国総監のものと思え。
まあまあエル、そんな厳しく言わなくてもいいじゃない。
シルビー様、甘やかさないでください。我ら騎士員はシルビーさ。シルビア王女の身に万一のこともなきよう細心を払うのが筆定なのです。私を含め今日のことはあってはならないことでした。
もう相変わらずこちこちなんだから。
Yeah, you would think it would be her with the fixation instead of Jogasaki.
お説教もわかるけれど、それよりオーロの調子はどうだったか聞かせてほしいわ。
Sylvie with the priorities.
しかし
王女様の命令よ。ほら、私の部屋でね。
We'll bring Kyoto. We'll have tea.
わかりました。
よろしい。はい、みんな、今日は解散。明日からもよろしくね。
I'm also trying to remember who the older sister is. I think Elle-san is Sylvie's older sister. I'm not entirely sure though, because I feel like Sylvie's the youngest, but honestly, it's been so long since Sylvie's route, I don't remember.
ほう。
助かりました、シルビア様。
いえいえ、みんな、明日からもよろしくね。
はい。
みんな言ったわね。
はい。お手数をおかけしました。
もう、こんなこと続けてると嫌われちゃうわよ、エル。
私は彼ら騎士員派を率いねばならぬ身です。少し怖がられるくらいの方がいい。
I think it's a little bit more than a little.
もう。まあ、ボラルコーチェみたく分かってる人もいるから心配はないと思うけど。
I knew it. Or Lacoche is skilled.
それに、そうして私が恐れられる分、彼らの忠誠はシルビー様に向く。
Unless they revolt.
本来そうあるはずだった形に近づけているだけです。
もう。
金色ラブリッチェ。というわけですいません。あまり軽い気持ちで家庭教師をするのは難しいようです。
I find it hard to believe that any decision she makes is lighthearted, but Yeah.
市松殿がおっしゃるなら、本格的にスケジュールを振り分けて、私の時間を作れるよう手配しますが。
No. I wouldn't dream of it, and there's no way I'd ever want to cause you any more trouble than I already have.
そうですか。学習の基礎は昨日教えた通り、予習と復習です。コツさえつかめば一人の方が集中もしやすいでしょう。頑張ってくださいね。
I will not. I will. I couldn't help but feel awful for having zero motivation when she stared at me like that. This was a real lifesaver, as I would sooner pass on having her come tutor me on a daily basis. If I were to have someone tutor me, I'd have an easier time learning from this guy anyway.
僕ですか？
Yeah.
もちろん構いませんよ。学習は日本に生まれた以上、貴族平民、どちらも平等に与えられるべき権限です。
Would Kikachiya really have time to tutor us? I don't know about that. The way you said that ticked me off a little, but you're right.
そうですか。ならよかった。
In a stroke of luck, Elle-san stood down.
まったく庶民が六音寺君への迷惑というものを考えてないな。
Ah, I absolutely did, but I was more concerned about how much of an inconvenience it would be for me. Huh? My guy friends walked over, and that helped get my mind off Elle-san.
まあまあ、それで市松くんが留年でもしたらと考えたら、勉強の手伝いくらい。
I'm at what now?
ですね。
二人は甘すぎなんだよ。こんな庶民、いつでも退学にでもなりゃいいんだ。
Lego, do we need to have another notebook conversation?
庶民だからこそ、留年や退学は一大事じゃないですか。
That was my cue to change this frustrating topic to something else. Oh yeah, you'd all have problems if I weren't around, though. Could you get your hands on quality porn without me? If you looked for it on your own, you'd probably end up on some sketchy mirror site. Ooh, right where it hurts.
それは、
僕はあくまで友情のためにですね。
Friendship.
エルチン、どったの？なんか嬉しそうだけど。
いえ、市松殿も随分とこの教室に慣れたと思いまして。
ああ、まあね。
だから俺は声を大にして言いたいわけだ。完全に女の体型、女の骨格から物だけを生やして何が男の子かと、せめて乳くらい引っ込めろと。
You know, I honestly had forgotten just how Saigo is. But, yeah, we're back. You know what? This is better than the conversation topics we had in Reina's route. I will take this.
俺、何か間違っているか？
No, you didn't miss anything at all. You're correct, Saigo. You overlooked the fact that this is your fetish, though.
だよな。
仲が良さそうです。
うんうん。
何の話かはわからない。男の子の乳を引っ込めろ。
Okay.
エロは心をつなぐだね。
Alright, well, Reina's caught up.
安心しました。勉強にはまだ不安がありますが、市松殿はもうすっかりこの学園に馴染んだようです。
まあ。
You know, I was just thinking it's about time for her to show up.
もうほっとこうよ。ね。うまく入り込んだみたいさね。
Ooh, dodged a bullet on that one.
え？
My problems had all been resolved in one way or another. But...
ねえところでカバレロさん。
A rare voice spoke up off to the side. Several girls walked up to speak with Elle-san.
どうされましたか？
Elle-san dealt with them gingerly. The girls all blushed when they saw her ordinarily firm, handsome face soften.
雑誌見ました？クルスクラン様だけでなくカバレロ様まで特集が組まれていて。
Wait, why was I not made aware of this, and where can you get a copy?
マストでよかったよ。可愛い服着てほしいって同感かも。
は？
Elle-san and Sylvie stared at them blankly. What the?
朝に言ってたあれ？もう買ってきたん？
クルスクラウンさんが乗るからね。ほれ。
She pulled out one of those so-called gossip magazines. Okay. It was the type of magazine where 1/3 of it had insane dieting gadgets, regimes, or good luck charms, and the other 2/3 were related to celebrity sexcapades and spreads with porn stars. However, a few pages beyond the front cover...
この前シルビーが始球式やった時のらね。あらあら。
困りますね、こういうのは。
Gotta love those tabloids. There were photos of Sylvie from back at the baseball season opening ceremony. It was exactly what you'd expect from a member of royalty. Her dress was lengthy and not showing any leg like the old folks at opening ceremonies like to see. To make up for it, the photo spread focused on behind-the-scenes shots, like when she got off her bus, entered the stadium, and otherwise. Can't avoid shots like these circulating even with your royal cheat powers, huh?
仕方ありません。完全な厳戒態勢にすれば、それはそれでソルティレージュが日本という国に良い印象でないよう変更されます。
Yeah, I guess providing an entire censorship campaign that probably wouldn't be worthwhile. Oof, so complicated.
写真はいいのだけれど、もっと可愛く撮ってほしいわね。ちゃんと写真の時間も設けたのに。世の中にはね、どうぞで撮られるより隠れて撮られた写真の方がニーズがあるのさ。
And so... Ah, you're right. This is Elle-san. After we flipped through a few pages of Sylvie's section, it eventually transitioned into a photo collage of Elle-san. The true face of the gorgeous bodyguard revealed. Or so it said. There were several shots of her guiding Sylvie when she was taking a break, and likewise.
なぜ私が?
Well, I can think of a couple of reasons.
そらしゃあないっしょ。エルチン美人だし。
In terms of popularity in this academy, Elle-san stood out even more than Sylvie in some ways when you considered her long list of female admirers. Lots of older men tend to gravitate toward the people behind the scenes, like Elle-san, over the ones who often take center stage.
まあ、重視の業務に差し支えがなければ良いのですが。
It probably won't. It might. Despite what she said, Elle-san did look bothered by the pictures. Then again, there was nothing she could do about it now. No other real choice but to leave well enough alone.
シルビー？どうかしたん？あ、いえ。大丈夫よね。
Oh, for a second there I thought she was going to declare war on the tabloids. Sylvie seemed bothered by something, but I couldn't tell what. By the way, Kaga, there are scissors here.
何？
Scissors, you know, a fancy tool designed to help you cut paper. This month's centerfold, I have no idea who she is, features a very pretty lady with rather nice looking breasts.
はいはい、見たいのね。
See, more like I'd want it. Mind cutting it out for me? Why can't we just get our own copy?
これだから男子は綺麗に切ってよね。
Thanks a bunch. Snip, snip, snip.
と、先生来ちゃう。おっと、じゃあね、エルチン。後でインタビューるよ。
はあ。
Everyone returned to their assigned seats. As for me, I double-checked the centerfold I'd been so graciously provided. Whish.
感謝します。
Oh, I see. After everything I'd gone through recently, I'd more or less adjusted to my new life. However, things were starting to change for those who had trouble adapting.
金色ラブリッチェ。ゲロ、起きなさいな。朝ですわよ。
You're not the person I usually expect to see in the mornings. Huh?
もう朝ですわ。
It's only 6 a.m.?
朝ですわ。
Well, yeah, but so is 1 a.m. And it's a Sunday?
朝ですわ。
You nobles sure are strict. Mina-chan woke me up bright and early. As I mentioned previously, it was a little after 6 o'clock in the morning. I could vaguely hear the sound of other dorm residents wandering the halls. I guess a lot of them were already awake at this hour. Especially...
先輩、おはようございます。
Wow, you are being oddly quiet.
起きてた。おはようございます、先輩。
There it is, I'm counting it for the counter. I have no idea what number we're on now. I thought we didn't have radio calisthenics on Sundays.
はい。でも今日はいい天気だから。先輩どうするかなって。
Sleep.
ちょうどよろしいじゃありませんの。体を動かして目を覚ましてらっしゃいな。
Why don't you go exercise? We couldn't use our usual spot, so we ventured out to somewhere more spacious.
1、2、3、4
Oh, she actually is joining us. 5, 6, 7, 8.
ちゃんとなさいな。
Oh, come on.
ファイトです先輩。燃えていきましょう。
I'm not that hyped up first thing in the morning. Why was I getting involved with the first years at this hour? The noble path sure was a steep one. Plop, plop. We transitioned to forward stretches, and Mina-chan, rather impressively I might add, had both of her hands flat on the ground.
おー、カミナルさんすごいです。体柔らかいですね。
Alright, well, good to know for what's happening in the fan disc, I guess.
そうですかしら。
Weren't you in ballet?
ええ。ですからこの程度は楽にできますわよ。
For you, maybe. She continued to stretch until her elbows touched the ground, and she looked quite smug about it. Even though her legs were spread wide open, it was still pretty incredible to witness firsthand. Can you do one of those leg hold stretch things?
あの、フィギュアの選手がやってる足を垂直に上げるやつ、できるんですか？
I'd be surprised if she couldn't.
朝一なのでちょっと体がほぐれてませんが、まあ楽勝ですわ。
Oh, she did it for us. Wow, I guess Mina-chan was the type to get caught up in the moment, huh?
わー、すごいなあ、カミナルさん。私もそんな風に柔らかくなりたいです。
Well, you can get fired up instantaneously, that's something.
そちらはどれくらい？こんなもんです。
I'm assuming that's supposed to be impressive, but honestly with the CG, it's just kind of sad. Akane leaned forward. Compared to Mina-chan, she outstretched her arms in front of her. Isn't that plenty?
そうですか？でも、上げるのは Y 字もできないです。
Neither can we. Anyone capable of pulling that off has some impressive hip joints.
そうそう。私も3つから始めたバレエの力ですわ。
That would do it.
ちなみにゲロ、あなたはどれくらい？
I can reach my knees. I push. I tried to stretch forward. That far, huh?
硬いですわね。
Well, yeah. The tips of my fingers just barely reached.
柔軟はできた方がいいですわよ。怪我も減りますし。
I can't say anything. I have never been able to effectively touch my toes. I do know that, but you've also got a talent for this.
才能が関わるまでやる必要はございません。
Oh,
ちょ
don't
っと
push
そ
me
こに
forward.
座りなさいな。
Don't push me forward. We're doing this now. I transitioned from radio calisthenics to stretches. I took a seat with my legs outstretched.
ゆっくり力をかけていくので、痛いところで痛いとおっしゃい。ファイトです、先輩。
Why was I being put through this on a Sunday morning? Oh, she was putting her weight against me. Ow, 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 ouch, ouch. Mina-chan, that hurts actually.
痛いと思ったところからぐーっとゆっくり押していくのが手っ取り早く柔軟を育てるコツですわ。
Already there. Ow, 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 ow.
まあまあなさいな。深呼吸です、先輩。燃えるハートを深呼吸で落ち着けるんです。
Are we stretching or giving birth? I understand it in practice, but both of you need to push me down, though. Ow, ow, ow.
何やってんの？
They're killing me. Help! Help!
かわいい後輩2人にべったりされて、なんでヘルプ？
あらあら、楽しそうね。
Oh no.
柔軟ですか？
Oh no. For whatever reason, Sylvie, Elle-san, and Reina showed up. I successfully escaped.
お姫様たち、何か。
It was still only 6:30 in the morning.
カミナル様をお迎えに上がったのです。今日は化粧会社との仕事がありますので。
そうでしたわね。出るのは8時だったかしら。
はい。
ならあと1時間半、柔軟を続けましょうか。
I don't know what that noise was, but that's what we got.
柔軟してたん？
I thought I was gonna die. I went back to my room. There was still time, and we picked back up our conversation. Oh, Akane-chan went home, by the way.
情けないゲロですこと。あれ式で涙目になるなんて。
Okay, you've been doing ballet since the age 3. I don't want to hear it. Could you not say that, especially given your background as a ballerina?
そうね。ミナは特別柔らかいものね。あ、エルもすごいのよ。やってみて。
I mean, I figured we'd get there eventually, but okay.
こうですか？
She sat on the ground. Plop.
おお。
She stretched her upper body all the way down to the floor with ease. Even assuming that Mina-chan, who was able to do a full vertical leg hold, was a special case, she was the most flexible in general.
格闘教習においては柔軟性が基本事項ですので。
That makes sense.
にしてもすごいよこれは。
Reina proceeded to push against Elle-san's back. Unsurprisingly, she wasn't bothered by the sudden pressure and bent over at a 180-degree angle without breaking a sweat.
やわわ。これってやっぱこう、小さい頃からの積み重ね的な？
Kind of feel like you'd have to.
ですね。
というか、柔軟性って小さい頃に覚えてしまえば、あとは特に何もやらなくてもできるようになるわよね。
Plop. Sylvie could pull the exact same feat. You're pretty flexible yourself, huh, Sylvie?
小さい頃はよくやってたもの。最近は全然だけど。
小さい頃覚えると関節と筋肉が柔軟に適した形で育つので一生忘れないそうですね。
いいな。
I have the sneaking suspicion that Reina is not that flexible. Were you into stuff like that too, Sylvie? Like hand-to-hand combat or sports?
そうね。
Ballet?
いいえ。
私もやっとけよかった。よいしょ。
Stretch. Reina followed their example and leaned forward, stretching out her long limbs. But... Relatable. You're surprisingly stiff. Even more so than I was.
これはちょっと心配になりますわね。よろしいかしら。
Here we go.
何？
押さないで硬いなら硬いままでいいから。
やっておいて損はありませんわ。
You're more flexible than the rest of us, Mina-chan. Aren't you getting a little carried away here?
こういう子供っぽいところが可愛いのよね。
エロいな。そちらはあなたにお任せしますわ。
Oh no.
ゲロウの柔軟を手伝ってやりなさい。
We're gonna keep going. Elle-san sat me down.
痛くなったら痛いと言ってください。
It hurts. I'm not afraid to speak up when it hurts. It hurts.
ではここからゆっくり行きますので。
I told you. Stop. Oh, she was just about as hardcore as Mina-chan. But
どうしました？
Nothing. You could do it a little harder.
わかりました。
I know exactly where this is going. Push, push, push. Yep. That sudden sensation vaguely reminded me of Mina-chan. Those soft, outstanding mounds were pressed against my back and jiggling like crazy. This made it worth enduring the pain. But,
やりすぎたか。緩めましょうか。
No, it's okay. You're welcome to pound, push, and squish to your heart's content.
何なの？
Oh, I shouldn't have said that.
いやー痛い痛い痛い痛い痛い痛い神にゃもう無理もう無理もう無理
大丈夫、まだまだいけます。今日中に愛知バランスまで。
I do not think you would be able to accomplish that in one day.
ダメ避けちゃう乙女のそれが避けるいやらしい意味じゃなく
I'm glad she qualified it.
あっちが苦しんでますが。
I'm fine. So push and push some more. Woo, but it hurts. It hurts. Oh. Hang in there, me.
あらあら。
これ以上うるさいと火炎瓶投げ込むから
Once again, Rhea and her supersonic hearing. Sorry.
お隣さん怒ってた
Little bit of an understatement. Just a teensy bit. She would complain that the two of us screaming first thing in the morning.
そろそろ時間ですし、出かけるとしますか。
Oh, poor Reina. It was nearly 8 o'clock.
ああ、処女膜が爆裂するかと思った。
Okay then.
ところで今日、何のお仕事？化粧品会社にお呼ばれですわ。新しい化粧品のテスターを試してほしいと。マジで？うらやま。なんか新商品？
私たちが試すのは普通の化粧水よ。新しい成分は何も入ってないけれど、地中海で作ったんですって。
That sounds like a sales pitch to push more units.
完全な新成分使ったのなんてシルビーには頼めないしね。それで小麦アレルギーとか発症したら国際問題だし。
That is a very good point.
こちらも正直面倒ですけれど、王族として日本のマスコミ受けを気にしますと、化粧品会社はバカにできませんの。
Mina-chan shrugged her shoulders. Japanese TV stations often made more money from cosmetic companies than from car or telephone corporations. Wow, I would not have guessed. They often made a huge killing off of advertisements and the like, and all at that prime cost of less than 1%. However, TV advertisements were a necessary evil when 99% of all of their sales relied on current beauty standards. Ooh.
特に今回は私とミナとイメージした新商品だそうなのよね。
That's very specific.
銀の新色だそうですわね。中身はアミノ酸比率がちょっと違うだけだそうですけど。
Gotcha.
でもいいかも。両方試したい。
That generic sounding description would nail any normal woman right in the heart.
サンプル品をもらえるから今度渡すわ。
やりー。
Gold and silver, huh? That would make for a great sales pitch. Despite being sisters, Sylvie and Mina-chan had different hair colors. Sylvie with her golden blonde hair and Mina-chan's striking silver locks. Then it hit me. That cosmetic line was the perfect product for them. Wait, duh. And
お車の準備ができました。
seriously, it took us that long to figure it out. Elle-san with her golden hair swaying in the gentle breeze came to pick the two of them up. It was a good idea for the cosmetic company to take advantage of this kind of publicity, especially when it involved two princesses, but when it came to advertising makeup, I believed Elle-san would have been the better choice. She's got quite the following online. This was probably that gossip magazine's doing. I booted up my PC and found several popular online blogs. There were tons of articles and photo galleries about Lady Sylvia, the princess studying abroad. Unsurprisingly, Elle-san could be seen in a number of photos, and many readers often left comments on those posts to the effect of, "I like her more."
不思議ですわね。エロイナは表に出ませんのに。
I'm sure that has an impact. The thing about the internet is, those who hover behind the scenes tend to be more popular than the people standing front and center. Very true. Elle-san was beautiful for what it was worth. She was often pictured lurking off to the side and could easily be spotted, which gave many users the impression that they had discovered her. Heroina's exotic-sounding name also made for pretty good material, so of course she'd be popular. The Elle-san and Sylvie factions seem to be on good terms, for now. But someone could start throwing together poor Pictoshop edits. Okay. And screen caps if things started getting dicey. Were they going to be alright? And what worried me most of all was, do you have a contingency plan for any gossip?
ある程度はできておりますわ。
I would be shocked if they didn't.
ある程度しかできませんけど。
Huh. The cohesive force of the internet in modern times was nothing to sneeze at. Huge media outlets aside, there were plenty of examples of small-time tabloids getting material from sources like these and putting it to work to generate fads. Sylvie's family was living in a villa on the edge of the city. I heard the paparazzi turned up every single night. They obviously wouldn't let them into the estate, and there wasn't much risk of peep shots since that would cause diplomatic problems, but
困りますわね。
Mina-chan looked rather troubled. It may have been good that she'd come to live in this dorm in a certain sense. As long as this dormitory was on academy grounds, that made this a paradise for young ladies linked to the political and business worlds. The entire government would crack down on any voyeur video attempts. In that sense, Mina-chan had nothing to worry about, but she looked positively gloomy over this whole thing. She read through the posts online a few times over. Doesn't this Heroina person look a lot like Princess Sylvia? Maybe she's a princess too? As if. They just look alike since they're both white girls. Ooh. The posts were all to that effect. Elle-san and Sylvie? Hamster wheels a-turnin'. I guess now that they mentioned it, they did look alike.
どうかしたの、オーロ？
The hamster wheel's not going fast enough to process the thought. Nothing.
我々の顔を見比べていたようですが、何か？
No, nothing. It couldn't be. This came up again this morning, but your online following is becoming more and more ridiculous by the day.
エルは美人だものね。
True.
いかな権力にも制御しきれぬ存在が大衆とはよく言ったものです。
雑誌もエルチンの記事が増えてる気がする。
日本で最も景気を左右するものはブーム。マスコミは常にブームを求めています。
That's how they stay in business.
シルビアさんを下手に担ぎ上げるわけにはいきませんが、エロイナさんであれば、といったところでしょうね。
Good point.
わかっています。まあこれでゲスな視線がシルビー様からそれると考えれば悪いことだけではない。我慢しましょう。
Looked like the lady in question had given up on the matter.
てか、逆にもう自分から目立ちに行っちゃったら？エルチン突然のアイドルデビューみたいな？
Yeah, that's a very Reina suggestion.
はあ？
それいいかも。
You know, I'm not shocked that Sylvie would go along with that too.
ねえ、 お堅い騎士のエルチンが歌って踊ってやりだしたら変な人気出るかも。
エルが歌って踊るの？いいわね。見てみたいわ。
姫様。
Elle-san looked flustered as the conversation veered in a weird direction.
アイドル関係なく見てみたいかも。ねえねえエル、何かダンスできないかしら？
できません。やったこともない。
You've got great reflexes, so I'm sure you could do it if you tried. There are plenty of videos online you could use as a reference too. I looked some up on my phone. What kind of dance would you want to do? Something you could do at school, a routine that's a bit more technical, or like what you see in a game?
かわいい方で。
One from the star-eyed stage, then.
オーロプロデューサー？
Apparently so. Yeah, although I'm in the free-to-play faction outside of voting periods, you can watch their dances anytime, though.
見せて見せて。エルも見なさい。教科書にちょうどいいわ。
やりませんよ、私は。
Nighttime eventually came.
エル、あの髪がピチッとしてるパツキン？
Not exactly how I would have described it, but sure. Yeah.
まあ人気は出そうだよな。美人だし。
You think so too, huh?
美人は誰が見ても美人だろ。
True enough. We were mostly teasing, but we told Elle-san that she should make her idol debut, and it sounded like she was considering it about halfway through the conversation. Once she makes it big, I'd love for her to get in touch with Maria Bishop and introduce me to her. Yes, to the Maria Bishop.
最近その話ばっかだな。
That's all I ever talk about. Oh, right. I did meet her. The real deal.
聞いたよ、もう。7回。
And will continue to do so.
しかも俺が一番知ってる話を。
It happened right here on this very rooftop. Man, she was so cute. I thought she was cute on TV, but she was even more beautiful in person. She's so cool, but when she smiles, it takes your breath away. I remember now how nice she smelled too. She's incredible. Why is your face all red?
赤くねえわ。
Yeah, it is. I wish I could see her again. I wonder if she'd ever come back here.
誰かさんがキモい間は来ないから諦めろ。
Rude. I wasn't being gross. Man, you're ice cold, childhood friend.
はいはい。
I didn't remember it very well. Apparently, Ria and I had met when we were little. Sylvie knew Soma-kun, so there was no mistaking it. My memory of Ria from back then was a little fuzzy, though. That's the understatement of the century. Then again, she turned into a delinquent and probably looked and acted differently from who she was back then. Don't you remember anything from when we were kids?
さあね。
Also, weren't you going to see Sylvie?
勘弁しろ。
Well, Ria plopped her favorite item into her mouth. I like how the description of her cigarettes changed slightly every single time. I felt bad for Sylvie, especially when she was so eager to see her first love, Soma-kun, but there was a lot to consider before the two of them could meet, as Sylvie's first love was none other than this female hoodlum. Jeez. Ria didn't sound interested anyway. Better just look out for a better opportunity down the line. Golden time was fast approaching, and Ria climbed up on the water tank. For CG of the route, and it's Ria smoking. Kind of funny when you think about it being Ella's route.
だんだん寒くなってきたな。
It is winter. Sure has.
ゴールデンタイムも早く短くなってきて、先のこと考えなきゃいけない時期ももうすぐかもな。金色ラブリッチェ。
Yeah, that does have a completely different regard because I guess
本日11月22日はいいミーニの日。つまり兄の日だそうですわ。
okay, that's a new one for me. But I guess it does make a lot of sense because at this point, Ouro really hasn't expressed any interest in this timeline in Sylvie or anybody else. So I guess she'd probably be thinking about, well, how are my plans panning out? And right now, they're not really going anywhere. Yeah, I saw someone mention that online. There were some complaints that tomorrow, November 23rd, should be recognized as Great Big Brother Day as well.
いい兄の日が2回も。では2月13日兄さんの日はどんな兄の日なのでしょう。
Oh, I see now. Not a bad brother day, I'd imagine.
私、本国に兄が複数人いるのですが、何か送った方がよろしいでしょうか。
It's not that big of a deal, to be honest. The dates are just a play on words in Japanese, so I doubt it would translate well for anyone in sortilege. Oh, yeah, you see now? And it took me a second.
でしょうか。お兄様たち、元気してらっしゃるかしら。
Mina-chan, are you homesick?
おバカ、そんなわけありませんことよ。
It's okay. Now, it's nothing to be embarrassed about. I know, you could think of me as your big brother if you wanted to do something to celebrate.
あなたがお兄様？
Oh no, are we going back to the Oni-chan thing from earlier?
来やすいですわよゲロ。このカミナルルプルテアの兄を名乗ろうなどと。
And you act way too formal to refer to yourself in the third person. I have to say, that's not the reply I was expecting. In Japan, it's proper etiquette to unconditionally respect older men you interact with on friendly terms, almost like a big brother. Your behavior was awfully iffy just now, especially for a little sister. I bet your brothers back home would be disappointed.
言いましたわねゲロ。この私が妹として微妙ですって。見せて差し上げますわ。私がどれだけ完璧な妹であるかを。
This couldn't possibly backfire. I wasn't sure where this was going, but Mina-chan was fired up. This ought to be entertaining. Oh, jeez.
お兄様。
Yes?
やはりお兄様という感じはしませんわ。
Rude. How about Oni-chan then? I love being called Oni-chan.
お兄ちゃん。
Yes?
お兄ちゃん。
Mina-chan blushed. She didn't seem to be especially bothered by that form of address.
お兄ちゃん。
What is it, Mina?
日頃から仲良くしていただいて感謝しますわ、お兄ちゃん。
You've really done a ton to help me too, Mina.
そう。お兄ちゃん。
Mina.
お兄ちゃん。
Mina.
お兄ちゃん。いや
Oh, damn it, Akane. You ruined a moment.
左遷ノックしたんだけど先輩出ないから。
Sorry, I didn't hear you. Radio calisthenics?
はい先輩。ところで今のは。
Embarrassing for her and hilarious for us. Use your words. Oh, just a game, that's all. As unfortunate as it was, things could become awkward between us later if we'd kept that up for much longer. I'll get ready now. Hang on a sec.
はい。待ってます。鬼。
Hmm?
いえ、待ってます、先輩。
Oh. So close.
このように情報の改革を強いた徳川吉宗は後に江戸幕府の中興の祖として。
Oh man, that's how I should have read the introduction for Noble Academy in the first or second episode. Dang, missed opportunity. It was another day of boring lectures. I had figured out something recently. Even at Noble Academy, students were bombarded with one difficult class after another. Today's lesson was on Tokugawa Yoshimune. That was a name second in fame only to Ieyasu of the world of Japanese shoguns. I obviously knew that much. He had some involvement with petition boxes or something? My elementary tier knowledge on the subject wasn't the least bit useful.
このように吉宗の改革はいい側面、悪い側面が大きく出たことで有名で。
This is riveting. Those words suddenly piqued my interest. For whatever reason, I focused intently on the rest of the lecture. Then during our next break,
日本史の授業はやはり鬼門だわ。
シルビアさんは一からの勉強になるので難しいでしょうね。
not to mention I have the sneaking suspicion she probably has a ton of sortilege history she has to keep memorized at any given time. Japanese history is practically non-existent overseas. It had to be tough for anyone who came from Europe. Their history classes likely only touched on the first Sino-Japanese War, and that one little island they had failed to colonize.
それでも徳川吉宗さんは知っているのだけれどね。
You do?
暴れん坊なのでしょ？
That's what you know about him?
実は私時代劇は好きなの。侍とか忍者とか。
Right.
国にもわざわざ輸入して見ておりましたね。翻訳がなかったので日本語まで勉強して。
Wow, that is determination.
特に忍者が好きだったのよね。確か。
I assumed it's my fault. Sorry.
棟梁一の組織した一我流人軍、金髪のサスケが私だったわね。かまいたちを起こす真空斬りはずっと練習していたわ。
It was a pretty old-fashioned game, if I said so myself.
まあさすがにもう暴れん坊なんてのは創作の中だけだとわかるけれど、今日の授業は興味深かったわね。実在の吉宗公も名君だとばかり思っていたわ。
Yeah, but that doesn't make for good plot lines. Yeah, same here. They had taught us that Tokugawa Yoshimune was this great benevolent ruler who was behind the revitalization of the Edo shogunate ever since we were elementary schoolers. But he had his fair share of shady aspects too, surprisingly enough. That's pretty normal. I feel like any elementary school history course is going to kind of give you kind of a watered down version of things, like Columbus. And then when you get into later schooling, you actually see, oh, there were a lot of facets to these figures, and a lot of them weren't great.
吉宗公を名君と見るのは、やはり創作の影響が大きいですね。天下太平が売りであった江戸時代の物語を作るならば、治めている征夷大将軍は、やはり善の存在とされますし、他にも、日本の時代劇といえば忍者、そして、江戸の隠密といえば、伊賀流でおなじみ、お庭番。
伊賀忍者、知ってるわ。
そう。現在では忍者といえば伊賀者、つまり、お庭番で知られますが、このお庭番を組織したのが吉宗公であったため、忍者を主題とした時代劇では、 常にその大親分の位置に据えられたのが吉宗公でした。
Oh, okay.
味方の一番偉い人なら完全懲悪な時代劇じゃそのまんま正義側になるよね。
はい。
The actual Oniwaban were apparently pretty nasty, though.
そうですね。隠密業とは基本的には悪を打つのでなく、雇い主に都合のいい仕込みを行う工作員ですから。
Yeah, that makes sense. Oh yeah, when Tokugawa Yoshimune became a feudal lord, didn't more than 7 of his relatives coincidentally die?
さらに将軍を決めるとき、ライバルだった尾張藩の藩主も急死。その後も周囲の不審死と切っても切れない人生だったとか。
Ooh, wow.
今さら証拠は出ないとはいえ、暴れん坊将軍だったんでしょうな、そういう意味じゃ。
それだけの力があったという意味では、名君らしいといえば名君らしいですけどね。
Well, you know.
こうしたことが重なって無条件で善意の解釈が当てられがちな吉宗公ですが、歴史的事実のみを見ればやったことは独裁者の色が極めて強いです。
It was one of those dimensions of history you only recognized once you're an adult.
初代将軍家康公から続いた将軍家の血筋が途絶え、分流である御三家から入った初めての将軍。そのためか、まず吉宗公が行ったのは、将軍家の勢力図に自らの側近である紀伊徳川家の人間を大量に導入することでした。
Surprise, not only are we on Elle-san's route, we're also getting a history lesson. Nepotistic rule that drove all other actors off the political field. I bet politicians would get a lot of flack if they tried that now.
それで当時腐敗色の強かった幕府容認の一掃に成功したというのも確かですけれどね。
独裁者も良し悪しだね。
Until today, I had no idea Arai Hakuseki. Until today, I had no idea Arai Hakuseki had been ousted because of it. He was supposed to be so famous, too. Arai-san seemed like a competent guy, too, but he was pretty much forced out.
有能だからこそ権力者側には厄介な面もあったのでしょう。玉石混交とはいかないのは仕方ありません。また吉宗公最大の功績である幕府財政の再建ですが、その策は究極的に言えば庶民への大増税が要でした。
I feel like I might have touched on this on a paper in college, but it's been a while.
他に行った様々な改革にどれだけ効力があったかは現在をもって不明です。
増税策がうまくいったのは運が良かったわね。欧州の歴史は基本的に王族が搾取を強めては革命が起きて亡国の繰り返しなのに。
そして吉宗公が行った中で現在でも意見が分かれる最たる政策が御三卿です。
The 3 branch and 3 secondary branch families?
ごっちゃになるよね、これ。テストでは嫌なポイントだわ。
You said it.
大雑把な役割もほぼ変わりませんからね。
将軍家の血筋が途絶えそうな時に次期将軍を育てておくための分家なのよね。
そうですね。他にも理由はありますが、やはり一番は江戸幕府が続く限り家康公の血統が続くことを第一に考えたシステムです。吉宗公はこれに乗っかって御三家から次期将軍職の権利を没収。新たな将軍職引き継ぎの分家として自分の実子らを始祖とした御三卿を立てました。
ぶっちゃけ幕府の乗っ取りだよね。
ありていに言えばそうですね。この御三卿のシステムは現代でも極めて評価が分かれます。新たに3地域を徳川家に取り込んだことで大名間の結束を強めたとも言いますが、
吉宗公の家系である紀伊徳川家以外の御三家、尾張、水戸徳川家からすれば一方的な次期将軍職となる権利の没収策でしかない。
まあ納得いかなかっただろうね。
Yeah, well, you know.
尾張徳川家は特に腹に据えかねたようですね。この100年後の明治維新の時期にも将軍家を見限って官軍に味方していますし。
仕方ないわね。血筋というのはそれだけ根が深いものだわ。
Ah, so that's kind of what I thought was going to happen. This was sort of a long educational way of getting to the crux of Sylvie and Elle-san's relationship with one another.
いつの時代でも。
このようにメイ君と歌われる吉宗公もその施策には光と影があり、見方を変えれば身勝手な独裁者となるのが歴史の面白いところです。増税して庶民を締め付けて各地の大名と険悪になって、中興の祖とは言いますが、その100年後に江戸幕府が終わった理由の大部分が吉宗公の少々暴れん坊すぎた施策にあったなんて評価も。
なるほどね。
歴史に興味が湧いてきましたか？
For sure. I'm going to take a quick look into Tokugawa Yoshimune. Maybe I'll research how to do the samba first.
なんでそっちに行くんですか？
オーロはもうどうやっても勉強は無理だね。
Reina gave me a hearty laugh. It was on that note that our complicated discussion finally came to an end. However, we failed to notice Elle-san and Sylvie hadn't joined in the conversation. Lunchtime.
ねえねえオーロ、今日お昼一緒しない？
Sure. I'm not so sure I want to stand out in the cafeteria.
違うの。今日はね、音楽堂で食べようと思うの。
Sweet.
ぐえ。
Oh, does Kira need to be recharged?
キュロちゃんがお腹空いたって言うから。
There it is. Ah. Smoke plumed from the toy's feet as it soared into the air. This robot, with all its mysterious functions, was an impressive piece of technology. But it must have consumed batteries like mad to make up for it. It was apparently very easy to trip a home circuit when they were equipped with an electrical car charger. If she were to charge her little robot friend right now, then I'd bet the same thing would happen to the school too. So, through Sylvie's royal privilege...
はい、いっぱい食べて、キュロちゃん。
She plugged the cord that came out of its mouth into the concert hall's outlet. Oh, I didn't realize the cord came out of its mouth. Well, alright then. It simmered down and started to charge. This is the only spot with its own isolated electricity source?
献金を弾んでつけてもらっちゃったの。
Ah, that would do it. That was a princess for you. Despite how old-fashioned this concert hall looked, it could draw quite a bit of power. The lights were the primary power draw of the concert hall, so the school probably didn't care if she happened to trip a single circuit breaker.
本当はここはあまり汚してはいけないのだけど。
Well, unless we're eating ribs, I think it'll be fine.
だからこそ美味しいのよね。
Sylvie took out her melon bread, of course. I decided to join her and proceeded to enjoy the sandwich I'd brought for lunch.
なーにそのサンドイッチ。なんだか美味しそう。
If I give you a bite of it, you're going to eat the whole thing. It is! One of the nearby hotels makes this shrimp stuffed sandwich, and I got it delivered.
美味しそう。
I'm not giving it to you.
美味しそう。
I cut it in half and split it with her.
わーい。
Better chow down. Munch, munch.
音楽堂で食べると変な感じね。
Yeah, it's so quiet. Everything echoes.
初めてではないけれど、テーブルがないところでご飯というのもなんだかお行儀が悪くて楽しいわ。
She was so refined. I stuffed my cheeks with my half of the melon bread. Oh yeah, Sylvie, that last time we were here. It put me in a bit of a strange mood when I remembered how we hugged each other. Wait, I needed to calm down. I didn't need to be thinking about that right now. We met Maria Bishop.
嬉しかったわ。
Anything new since then? Like her getting in touch with you?
ないけれど、どうして？
That's fine then. That manager of hers acted like she wanted to establish a closer relationship with Sylvie to help boost Maria's popularity. But it probably wouldn't have gone over well, so it wasn't all that surprising that she didn't act on it. Damn. A small part of me hoped Maria Bishop and Sylvie formed some sort of connection so we could see each other again.
そうそう、その件は私こそ聞きたいのよ。オーロ、本当にマリアとは知り合いじゃないの？
Yes and no. I don't. We ran into each other the day of, and that was all.
すごく親しそうに見えたけど。
I was a nervous wreck and remained stiff as a board, but Sylvie seemed to be bothered by the idea. It really didn't make a ton of sense to me. Not that a whole lot does. In any event, if we can't use your connections, then that just means we need to put our latest plan into motion. Oh, what have we concocted now?
なになに？またマリアに会える方法があるの？
Oh, it's a surprise to her too. The odds aren't exactly high, but I did come up with something yesterday.
どんな方法？
My mischievous smile must have rubbed off on Sylvie as she had a rather amused look on her face. I'm calling it the Elle-san Idolization Project. Oh, that.
アイドルか。昨日の？
Our plan was to turn Elle-san into an idol so she could appear on a musical program and form a connection with Maria. Okay, got it.
でも難しいんじゃないかしら。
It absolutely is. With how pretty Elle-san is, I'm sure it'll work out somehow.
でも、そうか。オーロって100人強のアイドルを育成している敏腕プロデューサーなのよね。
That's generous sounding. Yeah, those were all from failed character polls, though.
じゃあ、オーロに任せればできちゃうかしら。エルのアイドルデビュー。
I wouldn't bet on that. I don't want to be responsible for it, but I'd certainly cheer her on from the sidelines.
でも、やっぱり無理ね。エルがやるはずないわ。
That's pretty much what I was thinking. Yeah. I'd never thought she'd go through it and went along with the joke. Even now, I couldn't help but laugh at the concept. However, it looked like Sylvie wasn't in a laughing mood and refused to drop the subject.
エルは私の護衛からは離れないし、それ以外のことに打ち込むことはないわ。
It seems like that thought makes you more sad than annoyed.
もっと自由に生きてほしいのに。
Ah, gotcha.
なんでもない。
She whispered too quietly for me to hear.
お
Sorry.
腹膨れた？キロちゃん。
We finished lunch and headed outside. When? Hey, Akane. Oh. It was someone I often saw loitering around the dorm. I don't think she loiters. I think she's constantly running somewhere. When she spotted me, she ran over with a great big smile.
こんにちはです。お兄ちゃん。
Oh, she's been practicing. Huh?
鬼？
Never mind, it was a Freudian slip, but oh, it was a good one. Right. That greeting had certainly startled me.
失礼します。
She ran away. Dang, I knew I should have thrown bait instead of a rock.
どうしてお兄ちゃんなの？
Well, I more or less knew why. I told her about what happened this morning.
いい22の日。
I bet that was just stuck in the back of her mind. Essentially the same idea as when someone called their teacher mom in the middle of class. Whew, that's always awkward.
日本語って面白いわね。語呂合わせというんだったかしら。
Well, Mina-chan was the one who brought it up.
ああ、ミナはそういう俗習に詳しいのよね。勉強熱心だから。
That is very true. That definitely would register as I feel like somebody with a very light knowledge of culture would not get that. I mean, I didn't get it. Wow. That was an unexpected skill.
でもいい兄の日、私にも兄が一人いるわ。連絡しようかしら。
You don't have to. I said as much to Mina-chan, but it's just a play on words in Japanese.
それはそれで面白いじゃない。
Sylvie seemed to be enjoying herself. Oh? Now that I thought about it, something seemed out of place.
シルビー様。
あら、エル。
Elle-san hadn't been with her today.
申し訳ありません。フェンシング部の伝達を聞いていて、食堂は探したのですが。
Ah, okay.
もう、そんなずっとべったりじゃなくてもいいから。
危険などありませんでしたか？
ないわ。ねえ、キュロちゃん。ぐえ。
Oh, right, yeah.
そうでした。
Sylvie had a machine, or rather a bodyguard, with her, so there were no issues. A rather anxious-looking Elle-san didn't seem at all satisfied with that answer.
もう、相変わらずね、エルは。フェンシングの伝達って何だったの？
Something offensive?
はい。部が公式試合の団体戦に出ることになったとかで、私にも参加してほしいと。
Which you of course declined because of obligations, even though you really should do it. You'd definitely win them the championship if you entered.
そんなことは。ただ、まだ慣れていない部員に比べれば、勝率は上でしょうが。
謙遜しなくていいったら、フェンシングをしてる時のエル、素敵よ。
恐縮です。
というわけで今日からエルはフェンシングに打ち込んでもらう必要がありそうね。
しかし私にはシルビー様の護衛という。
ぐえ。
いや、まあ、うん。
Well, human guard.
エルチンってほんとシルビーが好きだよね。
They're like sisters, Wade. Sure does.
好きって、いえ、お慕いしてはおりますが。
ユリリン？
I wouldn't be opposed to that.
おいおいおろ、ユリ好きかよ。
I wouldn't deny it.
なに？ユリって。
Don't worry about it. It stops being hot when one of the girls realizes what's going on, so just keep doing what you're doing, Sylvie.
そう。まあ、言われなくても、私はエルが大好きよ。
Not that kind of game.
恐縮です。
黒髪ロング好きはユリ好きの傾向がある。あの噂は真実じゃったか。
I kind of feel like you made that up, but I don't have any proof to say otherwise.
キモ。
Well, that still doesn't count.
で、話を戻すけど、
But that was the subject.
試合の日はいつ？
2学期最後の週の日曜、12月の17日です。
And what day? Oh, wait, no, I know what day it is. It's November 22nd. It's been a whole joke.
もう1ヶ月ないね。
基礎的な動作練習は欠かしておりませんが、試合に向けて多角的な勘を取り戻すには、やや足りないやもしれません。
つまり、私の護衛をしてる暇はないということね。命令よ、エロいな。試合の日まで私のことは考えなくていいから、練習に打ち込みなさい。
ですが、
それまでは私もおとなしくするから、ね。
Only half of the melon bread stores lost their stock that week.
はい。
Elle-san nodded, looking reasonably reluctant. From that day forward, Elle-san put some distance between them. Now's our chance.
さあ、今日は遊ぶわよ。ひゃっほーい。
Here we go.
ひゃっほーい。
Hi, she's Daisy.
ひゃっほーいですわ。
Wow, even Mina's in it. I figured this is what you were after. Sylvie looked like she was having a ball without her chaperone around. Yeah, this should be fine for a while. However, I decided not to partake. Really?
一緒に遊びに行けばよかったのに。
You heard all that, huh? I'm not surprised. I'm not hot enough that I could just tag along and deal with whatever antics those three happen to come up with.
なるほど。
Ow. I'd feel more comfortable lounging around with my guy friends. You know, like what we're doing now. Whoa. Oh, and this is how we die. Female friends. My bad, I was just teasing. Don't just stare and point your cigarette at me.
まあ、ともかく。なんだっけ、フェンシング？うちの学校ってそんな強いやついたんだ。
Right, because you don't go to class. I'd say she's pretty good at it. She was a legit knight after all.
すげえな、うちの学校で。
Is Noble Academy that wimpy a school?
逆だよ。フェンシング界じゃノーブル学園は日本全体でも上位も上位だ。
Hefty, hefty, hefty.
まあ日本は剣道が主流で、フェンシング部なんて物自体少ないからってのもあるが、にしても相当強い。
That makes sense.
そんな中で頭一つ抜けてるんだろそいつ。
Yeah. I wasn't entirely clued in on her abilities in any specific terms, but the members of the fencing club seemed to think she was good enough.
じゃあ凄まじいわ。
I mean, we have witnessed it, but I guess considering that was one of three options in the common route, they kind of had to play it off as though you went with either of the three. Definitely. You should probably stay away from Elle-san, though. She's more on the righteous side, and I doubt she'd keep quiet about your smoking habit.
確かに。
We know it.
こっちが吸ってたら急にピッて真剣向けてきて、加えてたタバコの火の部分だけ切り落とされたり。
You know, on second thought, you should hang out with her because I really want to see that. Sounds like something she would do. Elle-san was dangerous when she got serious, and she certainly had the skill to back it all up.
そいつには特に合わないようにしよう。L だっけ？
Yep. Yeah, Elle-san. Heroina de Caballero Ista-san.
お？
What? Ria looked bothered by something. Oh, is that Heroina a part of her name? I guess that did bug you a bit a while back, but Elle-san's not as pervy as her name suggests.
ちげえよバカ。
Well, dumbass was pretty cruel. Accurate, but cruel.
イースター
Yeah, I think that would be a surname for people where they're from.
昔イスタって名前のやついなかったか？
How do you expect us to remember? Huh?
俺とお前イチトでキャンプ場に来てて、
Yes, it was Sylvie, but we don't know that.
その時イスタって名前聞いたことある気がする。
Come to think of it, Ista... Something told me I'd heard that before too. Oh, maybe Elle-san had been at the camp with us back in the day too? Swing and a miss. I hadn't heard anything about it, especially not from Sylvie, so I doubt that was the case. But I have no memories.
金色ラブリッチェ。前々から思っていたのですが、ジャパンはちと祝日が多いんじゃありませんこと？
I don't know, how many holidays does it have? The government stepped in so as to try and encourage people to take vacations, even if they had to force it. They call it the economic cycle in regards to the service industry.
日本は民主主義という名の社会主義とはよく言ったものですわね。海の日とか山の日もよくわかりませんけど、今日勤労感謝の日ってのは何のためのお休みですの？
Labor, I would assume. It's meant to show gratitude for people's hard work and labor.
勤労 謝するために休むんですの？
What, does sortilege not have holidays? It does seem strange when you put it that way. I guess if you don't like it, why not keep the theme from yesterday and carry forward to November 23rd, or so it could be called Good Big Brother Day.
その話はもうおよし遊ばせ。
Oh, but that was fun. Sounded like Mina-chan was still embarrassed after yesterday. Better not tease her. When I headed outside,
ほら、急いでよ。時間ないんだから。うるせえな。
I spotted an unusual pair on their way out.
眠い。
They, and someone I hardly ever saw in the morning. If not you too. You sound sleepy.
にゃーね、昨日は。一緒に寝たの。ねえレイナ。
Oh my. You stayed over at her place? She jumped at the chance to satisfy her whims the moment she escaped Elle-san's watchful eye.
本当はオーラの部屋にも行きたかったのだけど、ミナにチクられそうでやめたわ。
Absolutely. What? Hang on a second. We know Sylvie shuts down at about, what? 9 o'clock? 10 o'clock? Definitely pretty early, so I don't know how she managed to exhaust Reina. Wise choice. Is Elle-san busy again?
一日中練習と言っていたわ。平日に監視が外れるのは嬉しいけれど、休日はエルがいないとなんだか物足りないわね。
For a princess, you sure do have a good head on your shoulders, but you can be a little selfish when it comes to Elle-san.
かもしれないわね。
She seems proud about it. Our discussion eventually led the three of us going to check up on her.
そういや、フェンシングってまともに見たことないかも。
It's your first time?
フェンシングバージンです。優しくしてね。
Oh, I'm fighting back a joke so hard. I'll try not to stab you too hard. There it is. Poke. I couldn't tell you any of the rules, so the least I could do is show you around. Their equipment's on the thin side, so you don't have to worry about it hurting too much.
やあんまり激しく疲れたら泣いちゃう。
You know what? Never mind. She made the joke. My work here is done.
朝の下ネタってなんでこんなに寒いんだろう。
I don't know when people are watching this. Sure are. It was uncommon for outsiders to observe the fencing club in their day-to-day activities. As such, anyone who wanted to watch nearby needed to peer in from the outside the window, but
よろしくお願いします。
Sylvie just kind of went in there.
ようこそおいでくださいました。椅子をご用意して。飲み物はいかがしますか？
We were welcomed with open arms once Sylvie's princess cheat code kicked in.
見学ですか？しかし、見ていて楽しいことはないと思いますよ。
I disagree.
私が応援したいのよ。迷惑かしら。
まさか。
Now that Elle-san was focusing exclusively on the fencing club, I suppose I shouldn't have been surprised, but she really was extraordinary. She wasn't just strong. She looked absolutely incredible doing it. Simply calling her beautiful didn't do Elle-san justice. I doubt it was intentional, but the way she moved seemed like an agile dance, and you couldn't help but be captivated by her. Even though it was originally brought up as a joke, I may need to reconsider my option on Elle-san becoming an idol. She was already an adept competitor, so there was no need to deliberately primp herself up to garner attention. As far as I could tell, Elle-san was already bringing home the gold when she dove headfirst into fencing. What's wrong?
いや、今。
I honestly thought that was Reina. Reina was looking out the window. Must be paparazzi. it was tough to see it as anything other than a giant crowd of Elle-san's fans. Okay. What the? Although I failed to notice the sound the first time, I heard a series of shudder-like noises. In other words, it was the sound of Elle-san being photographed. In hindsight, if we had noticed what was going on sooner and taken appropriate measures, then we could have avoided the situation that was just about to unfold.
お疲れ様、エル。
What situation?
結局最後までよろしかったのですか？
I mean, we didn't have anything else going on, apparently.
いいのよ。見てて楽しかったし。
そうそうそう。エルチンかっこよかったよ。
はあ、どうも。
Enough about us. You are amazing, Elle-san. You haven't stopped since this morning.
だよねだよね。疲れない？
フェンシングは体力はあまり使いませんので。それに集中力の勝負です。疲れた時にこそコンセントレーションを保てるかが練習で鍛えるべき最大事ですので。
That made sense.
さすがに今日はもう続きそうにありませんがね。
She gave us a bitter smile. I guess when you were tired, you were tired. Elle-san looked like she was having fun, though. Today's practice must have had quite an effect on her.
そんなに楽しいなら、もっと入れ込んでいいのに。
Okay, is she saying this to herself or is it intended to be heard? That answers that question.
なんでもない。
Oh my god, Sylvie disappeared. Their limousine just so happened to arrive at the school gates. Both Sylvie and Elle-san got into the limousine. Reina and I should probably head back to the dorm too.
なんかあっという間に休日潰しちゃったね。
It just seems like that because we weren't getting a lecture on Japanese history. Feels like we wasted it though. Although we'd done a lot today, like getting involved with the fencing club and grabbing lunch in the middle of their practice session, I couldn't help but feel that way. I had fun, but I couldn't help but feel annoyed when I was hit with that realization.
せっかくだからシルビーたちについていけばよかったかな。ご飯おねだりしたら美味しいレストラン的なところに連れてってくれたかも。
Next time. You're unbelievably shameless, and I mean that in the best way possible.
ずうずうしさは乙女の特権。
I doubt we'd be a bother if we had gone with them too. Heck, knowing Sylvie, I bet she'd have welcomed us with open arms. If you had, maybe I could have tagged along with you. For all my bluster, I was equally shameless.
いけたんじゃない？シルビーならオーロが来れば何でも喜ぶよ。
Very true.
昨日もうちに泊まってる時、ずっとオーロ言ってたし。
I'm flattered. Did she?
最近のシルビー、オーロのことばっかり。
Well, it's a shame I'm not on her route then.
あれ？今気づいたけどこれって。ラで始まって、ブで終わる。甘酸っぱキュンキュン丸の予感？
Nope.
知ってる。なんか、あれでしょ？幼馴染だったんでしょ？
Mild obsession? She seemed to know about the incident. The blonde-haired foreigner I took care of back when I was little was actually a princess, and we reunited 10 years later through sheer coincidence. Personally speaking, it does sound like a bittersweet twist of fate.
シルビーにその気はなさそうだよね。
And that really sucks.
残念な？あれ？オーロ側はシルビーのこと。
It's not like that, but I would have loved to have seen how a scenario like that could have played out, you know?
身勝手かよ。
I mean, you were the one trying to get escorted to a fancy dinner. When all was said and done, it made for a funny story, and I could laugh it off now. Besides, we were good friends. And I wanted to stay friends with her forever.
金色ラブリッチェ。
Alright, so I think that's probably a good place to stop this episode. we're slowly working our way into it. This route definitely seems to have a little bit of a slower start than some of the other ones. It feels like it's doing a lot of the build-up for the relationship between Sylvie and Elle-san, which, you know, I guess that does make sense considering we did things in a weird order and we played Sylvie's route first, so we know already that Sylvie and Elle-san are sisters. And also the whole situation with Heroina and all that jazz too. So I could see why they were trying to build it up and make this big reveal that's, whoop, I hit my microphone, I need to be aware of my space. Anyway, I could see why they made this big effort to kind of build things up for that grand reveal. And I'm guessing that probably will be the big thing about this route. Which is unfortunate because if you do play Sylvie's route first, it's like, I already knew this, get to main parts of it. But it is still fun to see a little bit more of Elle-san's personality coming through, especially in that scene where she was kind of ridiculing the guards and then she and Sylvie have that quiet moment where you actually see her lighten up just a little bit. But I feel like so far, there's actually surprisingly little of Elle-san for her route. It reminds me a little bit of Reina's route to a degree, in that it was more about Ouro and Ouro's past than it was necessarily about Reina as a person, and I can kind of see why this is important for the story because of her relationship with Sylvie, but at the same time, I really want to know more about Elle-san as a person independent of Sylvie. I think it's fantastic that the core part of the story ties back in with Sylvie and Sortilege and her relationships and her past with Ouro and of course with Ria as well. But if I'm going down a route for a specific protagonist, I really want to see more about that protagonist. That's just me being picky. And also, again, like we've said before, sometimes the pacing of this game is a little bit off. And I think also getting spoiled by already knowing Ria's ending and the golden finale, as it were, it puts the rest of the circumstances in a very different perspective. But anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and I hope to see you in the next one as we go further down Elle-san's route. Hopefully we'll get some more Elle-san, and a little bit less of details about the Tokugawa shogunate. I don't hate it, it's just not what I was expecting. Anyway, for now, I am one of the Bridge Boys, signing off.